Hello and welcome back. And for the past few weeks, I've been sharing my amazing journey along the Mekong. We've been following this mighty river as it snakes its way through Thailand and Laos for more than 800 kilometers. We began in Chiang Can in the province of Loei, where the river first slips into Thailand. From there, we traced it through village after village, embracing the laid-back and sometimes quirky rhythm of the rural life here in Thailand. Okay, looks like we're going into the river. Then we reached Nong Khai, a beautiful riverside city rich in history, and we experienced local festivals and meaningful Buddhist celebrations. After that came the stunning Ubon Ratchathani, home to some of the most spectacular natural wonders in Southeast Asia. Just coming and seeing the whales in this environment, so unique, so special. We saw temples perched on mountaintops, mountains shaped like whales, and waterfalls with natural rock slides that the locals come to day after day to have fun and relax. I'm too fat! Next, we rolled into Nakhon Phanom, a true melting pot of culture and without doubt, the food capital of this entire region. Nakhon Phanom was every bit as beautiful as it was delicious. And most recently, we arrived in Mukdahan, a chilled out riverside town full of surprises, and we were lucky enough to get an intimate look at the Loy Krathong festival. And in today's ride, we're aiming to finally complete our journey along the Mekong. Thanks so much for joining me along the way, and let's return to the riverbank one last time because we've got our sights set on the finish line. But don't worry, because I have a feeling we've saved the very best for last. Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Mekong. We're nearly finished. There's not long between here and where the Mekong changes direction, heads into Laos, goes into Cambodia and out to Vietnam and into the Delta. We'll grab a quick coffee and then we'll get on the road because I think this journey will take about 2 days. You know, I was thinking yesterday that if it wasn't for YouTube, right, I don't think I would be getting as much out of my trips. Because here's the thing, right? I'm out here on Zelda. We're driving along the Mekong, and the mission is to get from point A to point B, right? Because I get to, you know, plan out my trip in a slightly different way. I have slightly different goals. I'm not simply just trying to get from point A to point B. I'm trying to do so in the most visually stimulating way, in the most dynamic way possible. Otherwise the video is boring, isn't it? It's just me going along the road. And this morning I've saved 2 or 3 waterfalls. I've saved some really interesting looking temples. I've got a few villages I want to pass through. Of course, I'll do the mundane stuff like go to this gas station, get a coffee, go to the toilet, get some water, drive along a stretch of road that is really uninteresting for maybe an hour, maybe 2. You know, I don't film every waking moment of this trip. And so, yeah, it just made me think, if it wasn't for this YouTube channel, I don't think I would get so much out of these trips. It doesn't, not just this trip, but any trip. Even hiking in the Swiss Alps or doing the TMB. I do it because I love it. It's really good for my health and I enjoy the challenge, but I also just love the visuals of it and filming it and turning it into content, which of course is my business, right? Anyway, I had a lovely stay at this little wooden cabin. Really nice view this morning. Went for a walk. Was going to film it, but sometimes it's just nice to go for a walk without your phone, isn't it? You know, no emails, no messages, you know, no catching up on social media bullshit, just actually going for a walk and actually breathing the air and actually looking at the view. Sanuk mak, swai swai. Khop khun khao, khop khun khao. Bye bye. Bye-bye, bye-bye. So yeah, when it comes to consuming content, you know, for a lot of people, it really gets in the way of life. I think it's taken over, you know, screen time is getting out of control because these social media platforms like TikTok and Instagram, they're designed to just keep you on the platform, so they just constantly feed you this reels and TikToks on topics that they think will be the most stimulating to you. And I don't post on TikTok. I do Instagram reels a little bit, but not really. Instagram for me is more of a behind the scenes, updating you guys of where I am in real time or what's going on behind the scenes. Because recently when I was, you know, editing and uploading my videos, I noticed on my YouTube studio that around 80% of you guys watching this right now are doing so, watching it on TV, YouTube TV app. And that just felt really good to know that you're probably, or 80% of you anyway, statistically, are sat down, excuse me, sat down at home. Maybe you've got dinner, you've got a takeaway, or you've cooked something nice, and you're opening up the YouTube app, and you're sat on your sofa with your friend, your loved one, your family member, or on your own, just relaxing with a drink, a cup of tea, and you're watching this particular video. And so it just makes me feel a sense of joy that you're watching this in a relaxed state. You still might be on your phone, to be honest. But hopefully, these locations, these videos, are landing, putting a smile on your face, making you go, whoa! I mean, I knew that place was nice, but I didn't know it was that nice. I'm gonna save that, right, go into the description, find the Google Map link, save it on my phone. You know, the nicest messages, the most happy messages I receive are from people saying, look, we've just finished a tour of, you know, we went up to Shankan after we saw your video, we stayed at the same hotel and we went to the same place and we had such a great time. We actually had more fun because of this and we met this person and this happened. And you tell me and you share the stories that you have that were inspired by seeing me go there. And, you know, it's the same for me. You know, I don't just go to these places willy-nilly. I normally see an Instagram video, a photo, a video of a place, and I go, wow, look at that, where is that? I have to go there. Yeah, so anyway, the fact that you're sat down watching this and consuming it like a TV show makes me feel a little bit like I'm actually not just chucking out garbage to feed some sort of hungry algorithm and to keep the zombies entertained on their morning walks. I'm glad that you're sat there, hopefully with a glass of wine. If so, cheers to you. I can't drink right now, I'm driving obviously. Anyway, what a complete tangent to go off on the morning drive out of this village. It's getting to that point of the road trip where I'm starting to go slightly mad, talking to myself on my motorbike. So yeah, let's continue with our scheduled programming. My goodness, it is so beautiful driving around the rural farmland of Isan, Thailand, especially during harvest period, which it is right now. Everywhere you look, there are harvesters gathering the rice, and there's people out in the farms picking vegetables, picking the fruits. It's the beginning of the dry season, so it's time to get to work if you're a farmer. I just went through a police checkpoint, which you might think in, you know, this part of Thailand might be a bit scary of a situation. You know, what are they stopping people for? Why are they, you know, pulling me over? But the reality here in rural Isan, anyway, is they're not really interested in trying to catch you out. All they're really interested in is where do you come from and what football team do you support?
Look from
London.
London.
Chelsea.
Chelsea.
Nice to meet you.
Let's go.
Liverpool or Newcastle?
Newcastle.
Now, of course, in Chiang Mai and in Bangkok and Phuket and other places, they are a little bit more after you. They're trying to check, make sure you're not drunk, make sure you're not high, make sure you've got your license and your insurance and it's all legal, and if you're not, they'll fine you. But out here, they really just want to stop and say hello and find out who do you support. Anyway, it's just nice to take a bit of a stop and admire the view and watch the rice just swaying in the wind and the birds singing and the flags flapping in the wind. It really is just nice to just stop and see the land for how it is and how it moves. We've been seeing these, right, along the entire journey of the Mekong, but we've never seen one in red. They've always been white and gold, and I just thought that was the standard. There's been no blues, there's been no blacks. But look, a beautiful red one, so obviously I had to pull over and take some video, take some photos of Zelda and me, because they just go together so well. I've never been to a drive-through temple before. I've heard of a drive-through McDonald's, but I saw this gold spire, started driving towards it, started to investigate, and now that I'm here, I can see that this is a temple that you can come in the convenience of your car, drive through, make your merit, get your blessing, and drive. There is a staircase, but there's also a lift. Quite interesting temple, actually. These temple stops, or just any little points of interest, they're great because I get to show you something interesting, but I get to take a break because it's been 2 hours since I left this morning, so I'm a little bit tired. Nice statue of Buddha. Oh, there is a view. You can see what they do downstairs in the temple. People buy, they look like Christmas decorations, but you write a little message on there and you hang it on here, and then, yeah, hopefully the Buddha will make it come true. Always good to get a little bit of exercise after sitting on my ass for 2 hours. Oh, there's the Mekong. Haven't seen the Mekong for a while, a couple of hours at least. The good thing about coming up high is you can see where we're going. In the distance are the mountains. There's not very big mountains, but the mountains of Ubon. Outside here, there are these beautiful statues replicated over and over again, rows and rows of them. And this really reminds me of a temple that I went to in Patron in Myanmar. I'll try and get some footage for you. That's the nearest thing that I remember seeing anything like this before. I've just had a check on the map. I've got 2 hours to get to the Mekong in Ubon, where I found a hotel. I haven't booked it, but it looks quite nice. It's on the banks of the river, and it's kind of in the middle of all of the national park and kind of like a few of the interesting waterfalls and a few of the interesting locations that I want to go. It's quite common in Thailand to see hornets' nests or wasps' nests being grown on the chin or the ears of the big statues of Buddha, even though I think it's really cool. Yesterday when I was driving, I was just minding my own business and a hornet flew into my leg, panicked, stung me in the leg, and I had to pull over. I was in absolute agony. Oh God, it's stinging. It is stinging. Anyway, that evening when I got to my accommodation, it was still so sore, and I took my trousers off, and just bear with me on this, I'm not going to show you anything graphic, but basically my leg was really, really tender, really red and really swollen. Now, even though I really love to see nature and, you know, man-made structures coming together like this. I think it's quite beautiful that they choose to grow their nests on these statues. I think there's something really interesting about that. But it does mean that from time to time, you definitely get stung. It's not the first time, it won't be the last time. That was a long drive. Let's hope that the accommodation has a room for me. Been on the road today for 6 hours. I did not expect that at all. I really didn't think it was going to take that long, but it took the whole day to get here. I have no booking, but do you have a room? Okay, we're in business. Standard room, 1,300. It's quite pricey, but it looks like it's got a nice view. We're in business. So the reason I chose this hotel is because basically all around us is national parks and beautiful things to experience, which I thought I would be able to visit today, but it was just too far. It was so far. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, from the front, it's just a car park. It looks a bit like a love hotel or something. But actually here on the backside, beautiful view, nice big green space. Looks like there's some piers to enjoy right down by the water's edge. Actually, for the first time, there are rock formations. Now, look, the Mekong is best explored actually in the dry season, because I've missed so many sites and points of interest on this tour because beaches and rock formations and old, you know, inscriptions and footprints from dinosaurs that are normally visible and, you know, able to experience on the Mekong are completely submerged in water during this rainy season. So actually there's a lot more to see, there's a lot more to experience in this region in the drier months. There's a little cafe as well, so while I go back to the bike to get a few bits and bobs to bring into the room, let's go get a little drink and see what the view's like from there. But for 1,300 baht with this view and breakfast, big comfy bed, it's worth it. Pretty cool. It's giving me like sci-fi fiction movie vibes. What a beautifully designed cafe. Not only is it really spacious and airy and the aircon's amazing, but the glass wall behind me here, it's got this uninterrupted view of, I mean, these are cliffs on the Laos side of the river. And they've got a beautiful garden out here. Oh, it's so nice. The Memory Cafe. Okay, slight change of plan. So, as I was enjoying my little chocolate banana drink and the view, I got a bad feeling in my stomach. So I checked the weather forecast, and lo and behold, there is a typhoon coming this way. So a few days ago it was in the news, it smashed the Philippines, it's travelled over to Vietnam, it's currently hitting Vietnam pretty badly, and it's on its way to Isan. Now, it's arriving in the next 3 hours, and then it will rain all night and most of tomorrow, all of tomorrow. Luckily, by the time it's reached here, the winds would have died down in comparison to how it hit the Philippines and Vietnam currently, which means tomorrow could potentially be a complete write-off. So I've just changed rooms because I've booked 2 nights here now, because I just feel like tomorrow might be a washout. And if it's not too bad, we'll go and do the waterfalls because we're going to get wet anyway. But if it is really windy and treacherous and dangerous, then I think this is a pretty good location to wait out the winds, wait out the bad weather, catch up on editing. And, you know, it's a good structure. It's made out of concrete. It should be able to withstand some high winds and lots of rain. Let's just see what the next 24 hours of weather bring us. Maybe it blows away and doesn't come this way. Or maybe tomorrow is a bad day. let's just see what nature's got in store for us. Okay, we didn't get blown away, we didn't get washed away, but it's not stopped raining. In fact, it's still raining right now. We're now left with this drizzle that keeps coming, keeps going, and I keep thinking, oh, should I stay in the room? Should I go out and explore? I'm gonna go out and explore. I've been so productive in that room. Good food, good coffee, worked on my editing and worked on my website. And if you are in the marketplace for a fantastic website, use Squarespace. I host my website, paddydoyle.info, on there. I chose one of their award-winning templates, and then I just amended the text, added my own videos, added links to my products and services that I sell. And you don't even need to be a web developer. You can even use their AI feature, Design Intelligence, which is brand new. You just answer a few simple questions and the AI will then build the website for you. And you can amend and update and post onto your website using their amazing Squarespace app on your phone. So if you're moving around and traveling and you don't have a MacBook or a laptop, you can still update your website. Honestly, Squarespace is fantastic. And if you go to squarespace.com/Paddy Doyle, you'll unlock 10% off your first website or domain with Squarespace. Thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring this channel. Once again, one of the most asked questions I get, guys, is about my gear. What riding gear do I have? I think you guys think I have professional gear on, but I don't. These trousers, these are just from Decathlon. They're hiking trousers. I think because they're black here, I think a lot of you think that this is like Kevlar protective stuff. This is for hiking, okay? This is just a rain jacket, all right? These are just, 200 baht gloves from a roadside convenience store in Thailand. They're not really that good, but they do the job if I do come off, or they'll do some kind of job. My helmet, which is battered and bruised, I just bought this in Bangkok in a random hat shop, helmet shop, I should say. It's good because it's got a visor built in, it's got the chin lift, so I can, put it down like this. But when I'm trying to do my talking bits to camera, I always have this up, and then there's a visor if it gets sunny. This was about 4,000 baht. These were about 1,200 baht. These were about 300 baht. It's not expensive gear. It's not professional gear. It's not the correct gear, really. It's just the gear that I can afford and that I like to wear, because I like to get off the bike and go hike. Like to get off the bike, go to a waterfall, walk around. I don't want to be having a big, thick, heavy Kevlar outfit with trousers and jackets like the big bikers who you see everywhere in Thailand have. They're biking across the country. I'm exploring the country. I get off the bike a lot, and I need my gear to be lightweight and relatively waterproof. But yeah, if I did come off at high speed, I would be in a bit of trouble, to be honest. That's why I go slow, and it's not like I can go quickly on Zelda anyway. Also, I always have electrolytes in my water because I do sweat a lot. That's about it, really. My back box, I don't know where I got this. Somewhere on Lazada, I think. Got the mechanic to install it for me, and that's where I keep my cameras and my drone and stuff like that. That's basically my gear. Okay, so welcome to Pa Tiem National Park. Looks like I'm going to have to pay an entrance fee, which is fine. There are loads of attractions in this national park. Ready, Cap? One ticket now. Song Roy. Okay, can I scan? Okay, I can't scan and I don't know if I have enough cash. This is fantastic. Oh no, I might just have enough. Holy crap. 100, 2, 4, 6, 8. There's 200 Song Roy. If I don't have 20 baht and coins, then we're in big trouble. We're in business, guys. We're in business. Thank you. Okay, that was lucky. I just had enough in cash. And here comes the rain. So, let's just hope there's no more cash-only ticket officers, and that's us for the rest of the day. Woo! When it starts to rain like this is why I enjoy this helmet. Sorted. Okay, I thought I might have to park up and go for a hike to get to the first interesting rock formations, but no, they are right behind us. So this is Sao Cha Liang rock formation, and there's a viewpoint 100 meters away, so let's do both. What's good, because of this crappy weather, let me just clean the lens, because the weather has been terrible for 24 hours and is still pretty rubbish. There's nobody here. Nobody wants to get wet, but I don't mind, and it means we can take a really nice picture. Actually, I'll get my tripod out and take a nice photo. This area of Ubon is full of geological and prehistoric marvels. I'll show you some of them soon. But these cracks in the Earth's crust are so fascinating to explore. This is so cool. It's like an alien planet. The views all around here are just amazing. This is also the furthest east you can get in the country of Thailand, so that means there are some pretty interesting sunrise opportunities here. If you do happen to be in this area, okay, and the weather's looking good for sunrise, come here. Can you imagine how epic it would be? Obviously the weather here today and yesterday and this morning, not conclusive, but look at this. Imagine being here for the first sunrise. Down from the cliff's edge and into this forest is the highlight of this entire area. Somewhere on these cliffs are ancient prehistoric paintings that have been found, and they're really hard to see, so keep your eyes peeled. There are 4 or 5 different paintings, and they are all really interesting and very, very incredible. But for me, the historians have got it completely wrong. It's telling me that you can see elephants, turtles, palm trees, people, and other things, all right? And if you look at that, you go, yeah, kind of, but I don't see any of that. I think this is clear evidence of aliens, absolutely, right? I mean, think about it. That looks like a giant dragon, right? It looks like the thing out of Avatar. It looks like a giant dinosaur, but it's, you know, clearly something that would fight Godzilla coming out of a volcano. That's what I see. Then I see, yeah, they look like whales, but maybe they're spaceships, right? And then why are there lasers coming out of them? And then there are handprints on the wall, as if to say, like, you know, to represent people trying to get up and escape. And then I see clear evidence of aliens. These humanoid images. Why do they have these scary heads? Why do they have these big triangle-shaped heads? It looks like an alien civilization. It looks like ghosts. It looks like monsters. They're standing there staring at us. They're even putting their hands up and going like this, right? But their heads are up and out. This is clearly aliens. I'm sorry. But if I came here, right, forget all of this information about, oh, it's a turtle. It's not a turtle, okay? That's a wormhole, and the aliens are coming out, and their spaceships are shooting lasers, and they're saying hello, or maybe they're saying goodbye. They didn't have TV. They didn't have iPhones. They had to paint what they saw, and they clearly saw aliens. Is there anything Thailand doesn't have? I mean, okay, it doesn't have a desert, it doesn't have snow. Even now, all these years later, all of these experiences, all of these travels, I'm still learning and still being surprised at this magnificent country. If you're watching this and your experience in Thailand is nothing compared to this, maybe you're seeing scams, overpriced restaurants, overpriced hotels, foreigners and tourists everywhere. It's noisy, it's chaotic, it's expensive, and it's a bit of a letdown. That's because you're in the wrong part of the country. Get on your bike, get in your car, or get on a flight, or get on a bus, or get on a train. Get out into the provinces, go explore this incredible country. That was actually much better than I was expecting. Definitely worth the slightly treacherous trek down here. And the Thai people are loving it. It's not hot, it's not raining. They can enjoy the nature without sweating. And of course, it's a whole photo shoot down here. But there's another waterfall, another 20 minutes inside the national park. One more to go. Very pretty. This is not it, by the way. Don't worry. It's a lot more impressive than this. So that's actually the top of the waterfall. I'm standing on the top and we'll go down below. But you see that water there going in that hole? Remember that, because it's going to look really nice from down there. This is a really unique waterfall, right? Very rare to see something like this. Okay, I've made it back to my hotel. There's more bad weather en route. Not as bad as yesterday, but enough to sort of decide to go back home. There was one or two other places we could have checked out today, but I think we got enough done. And it was quite, this province is spread out, so it was a long journey between everywhere we've been to today. And believe it or not, just around the bend, really, about 4 or 5 kilometers up the road, is the actual end point of our journey along the Mekong. In about 4 kilometers, the Mekong will turn left and just go into Laos. And so that will be the end of the series and of this particular video as we finish and complete our mission. But I think I'm just going to wait for maybe tomorrow morning. Maybe the weather will be a bit nicer. Maybe we can send off the Mekong under hopefully blue skies. And we'll wake up in the morning, we'll pack up, and we'll finish this journey along the Mekong together. And then we'll start planning the next big trip. Come, come. We made it. The sun is shining, the weather is sweet, and we are about to finish our journey along the Mekong. This is where the Mekong says goodbye to Thailand. Heads east into Laos, then south down to Paksay, into Cambodia, towards Phnom Penh, and then east again down towards Saigon, out through the Mekong Delta, and out to the South China Sea. This temple ground is beautiful. The usual suspects are all here, the golden statues, the Naga, and a viewpoint, I would hope. Yes. So there's actually two rivers meeting here. If I remember correctly, it's the Mekong and the Mun. The Mun goes all the way up to Nakhon Ratchasima in Khao Yai National Park. And it kind of snakes its way through. Isan meets here, joins the Mekong. That's the Mekong, the big brown one. The Mun is usually a different colour. Sometimes it can be a bluish colour. And this area here is normally called the Two Colour River Point or something like that. I have been here before, but this time it's a different feeling. It's a different emotion. Because it's been 800 and something kilometres through 7 different provinces. And it's just been so nice to revisit Isan, fall in love with it once more, and to experience it through its village life, through its culture, through its history, through its food, and through its mountains, and of course following the Mekong the entire time. And it's just been such a joy. It's been one of the most amazing trips I've done. You know, I've been all over Thailand, all over Southeast Asia, all around the world, and this really rates as one of the best experiences I've ever had, simply because there's just something in the air in this region, and you'll only understand it when you come here. I hope my videos did this region justice. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe if you're new. I'm going to leave you with some shots of not only some of the highlights of the past 7 weeks, but a little hint at the end of what's coming next. Because I think I've just figured it out today. It came to me. Thank you so much for watching. It's been a privilege and a joy to share it with you. And I'll see you very soon.
Oh baby, I love your madness. It's so incredibly beautiful. Oh, you shine like gold, so selfless to all, and wild like an animal. Some would say I'm insane in the right in a way, but I just love to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know, and give me your freedom. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah I need it. Once you're pandemonium, life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah I need it. Once you're pandemonium. The limit of love is endless, I know. Just do what you want with me. me to pieces. Yeah, I need it. Once you bend them